Hi guys, and welcome to All About the Philippines. Now, I wonder what it is about guys who try too hard to impress a Filipina. And why do they feel that they have to be something they're not just to impress this Filipina? I mean, you see it all the time. These guys, they go to the Philippines or they meet a Filipina online, and all of a sudden they're throwing their money around like they're rich just to try and impress this Filipina who, yes, will think this is great. She's getting showered with money and gifts, and it's something she's never seen before. So she will start to think this is going to be the normal in the relationship, that you'll always be throwing money around like it's no tomorrow. And of course, as we know, money does expire. So come a point when you won't be able to continue at this rate, and yes, she's going to be disappointed. And so the relationship may fade or it may end because her expectations that were set early in the relationship by you giving her all this money and the gifts are no longer being met. And that's when we see things on Rafi Tulfo's show in the Philippines saying that this girl has scammed him and all that sort of thing, when actually, no, that's not the case. And why these guys have done that is really about their own insecurities more than anything else. And I'll explain that in this video shortly, so stay tuned. Now, for some of these guys who go searching for a Filipina in the Philippines, a lot of them may have quite a bit of baggage, let's call it, from a previous relationship he's had in his country where it has failed and he's felt inadequate, or very disillusioned by relationships, or in particular that relationship that failed. And now he goes to the Philippines and he meets a beautiful young Filipina who's everything and more that he could ever desire. Now, because he's got those insecurities about him and probably low self-esteem brought on by that failed relationship, and he now sees this beautiful Filipina in front of him who's very interested in him, and he wants to make sure that she does not get away. And this guy is now thinking to himself, well, she's probably not going to like me for who I am, and that's because he doesn't even like himself at this stage for who he is. And he's thinking to himself, how can I get this beautiful Filipina to stay with me and have a relationship with me? So he starts to buy things for her, and he sees her reaction, that she's very happy, she's smiling, she's giving him a kiss and saying, oh, this is lovely, thank you so much. And that feeds him to want to buy more for her, because he feels the more he buys for her, the more she's going to love him or be in love with him. And of course, that is all a delusional thought that goes through his mind. It's not a reality that she's going to stay with him long term because she loves him and who he is. She's loving his money. She's loving what he is buying for her at this point in time. But this guy, because of his own insecurities, he just cannot see what the reality of the situation is, and all he's living is in that moment at that time, not looking ahead at what might happen down the track when he can't keep providing these things to this Filipina. And of course, the Filipina is going to love getting these things very much. She's never had a man buy her nice jewelry or give her gifts or help her with her family or her study. Never had that before. So of course, the Filipina will enjoy what's going on, and she might even think that she loves this guy at this time, but soon enough the reality will kick in when he can't buy these things for her anymore or provide in the same way at that same level, and she will start to think, well, he doesn't love me much anymore because he's not sending me the money, or he's not giving me the things he once gave me. And then the insecurities and jealousy may come into play from her side, thinking he must be spending money on someone else. Now, you see from that scenario I just laid out, which is a true scenario, you see it all the time in the Philippines, but you can see by that scenario that these guys who do this sort of thing straight up when they meet a Filipina, they are setting themselves up for failure at the very, very start. Now I ask you, and I ask those guys in particular who do this sort of thing, wouldn't you be better at the start to give her very little or nothing and then increase the monetary support or the items that you give her as time goes by? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying at the very start you give her nothing at all or take her nowhere. No, you might do the usual dating things that you do for anybody else. Take her out to dinner, go and watch a movie, something like that. You may buy an inexpensive piece of jewellery for her as a sign of friendship between the two of you. But you don't go buying her expensive gifts or, buying her a house or a car or a tricycle or all these sorts of things that some of these guys do. And believe me, taking her out to movies and to a nice restaurant, that will be something very special for her without going over the top. And for you, you're not setting that bar too high too early and making her think that you're something that you're clearly not. So anyway, guys, I'd like to get your comments below. Do you know anyone that fits this bill of trying to impress a Filipina too early on? Or maybe this person we're talking about here is you, or you've done this before. And I'd like to hear your comments why you felt compelled to do that. What was your reasoning behind it? And let me know what you guys think about what I've said in this video. Are these guys setting themselves up for failure straight away? Okay guys, if you've enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to share the video with anyone who may enjoy it and all your networks. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and turn on the notification bell to get more videos. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I appreciate all your support. Take care and bye for now.